My Intel summary. I almost choked. Hubby's home. He's got a headache. I think he's taking a nap upstairs while I'm live. How is everybody this afternoon? Did you watch my Intel summary? Can't believe my husband got home. Like, I'm freezing. Anybody else? The sun is trying to come out. It's not out yet. Everybody say where you're from. I'm still able to do this live stream. I just took my dogs out.
Your new vehicle awake.
5x5, Robert said, I was in the middle of it. What were you in the middle of? Oh, yeah, my husband just got home a little bit before I did my Intel summary. Long as we don't take a highway to nowhere or a highway to the other place, I'm down. Yeah. East Texas. Hey, Cindy. Welcome from East Texas. You're watching the summary? Yeah, I almost choked. Guys, I just read the titles of the articles and then I got into the other people's summaries. I'm praying this thing happens soon. I'm tired of waiting. How about everybody else? We have rain for the last week in South Louisiana. Yeah, see, the sun is beginning to peek out, but it's not warm because there's enough of a breeze to make me cold. But I also just have a tank top on. So, and I've got this light sweatshirt on. So, this is just how I feel in the spring. I have a hard time getting warm. Yeah, me too. Yes. Hey, Paulette Harris from Arizona. How are you? This is my afternoon live stream. Cold still here in Alaska. I bet it is. You're in Alaska. Hey, Aaron. How are you? Hey, family. Yeah. Hello from Washington State. So happy to have found you. KG, I'm glad you found me too. Guys, we're all about truth, facts, and optimism in here. You're in the middle of the summary. Yeah. You just popped over from Ellen's live. Oh, I didn't realize Ellen was live. Yeah, she goes live at 1:30, right? Eastern time. Yeah, her live is fun. Her live is really fun. I'm in the house watching you with my jacket on too. Yeah, guys, I almost put on my Jeep Girl jacket. But this matches my hat better. I mean, but it's cold. I just took the dogs out and I'm like, why am I so cold? And my husband goes, it's 70 degrees in the office. That's still not warm enough for me. I'm just saying, with the breeze, that is not warm enough. Oh, yes. How's Kevin? He's good. He just feels off. He's got a headache, so they let him go. You have a tank top on underneath your jacket too. Yeah. Yeah, so he's going to be fine. He just feels a little off. He said he hasn't been sleeping well the last couple nights. And so, it is what it is. Just thank you for your prayers. So you saw my Intel summary, right? I'm hoping Jack gets on and gives us some good news. He said he was going to say what, happened at the mosque because he didn't have that yet. I'm from above, just a pilgrim passing through. Yeah, anybody read Pilgrim's Progress? I have a really old copy of that book that's probably worth a lot of money called The Pilgrim's Progress. I got it from my family when they died. I got the family Bible and I got the Pilgrim's Progress. I got the family Bible before I even knew I was going to be a believer, So it's really big. It's like one of those big black ones. It's got the family history in it and stuff. Yeah. Hey, Dawn, how are you? Yeah, I loaded some shorts today. And I can't wait for it to get warm here, guys. I mean, summer can be hit or miss here. Our family Bible fits in a typewriter box. That's how big it is. Wow. Yeah, it's huge. It's upstairs near my new jewelry case that I still have not put my jewelry in. Afternoon, family, praying for God's love to shine on us and get this thing done soon. Oh, me too. I'm praying it's done really soon. Welcome, Sharon. And Angel Land. Hey, Mel. Hey, Angel. How are you? Welcome to my live stream, guys. I just thought I'd get on. I was surprised that my husband had to come home. But thank you for your prayers for him because he works really hard and his season's about to hit at LL Bean too. I'm just looking, there were a lot of people have been wondering what's happening, and I don't like to talk about it. I'm the faith and financial. It's none of our business, but there are some things that are coming up that are, hopefully justice will be done. You have one of those family Bibles too? Yeah, mine's huge. I was watching the summary. You're amazing. I'm so blessed to have found you in this blessed family. Yes. And then I almost, I caught myself. I don't know what it was when I was talking about the redemption centers. Bruce's summary always talks about the redemption centers. And I've like choked on it, right? LOL, I put you on when I'm at work. Customers do not know what to think. Lots of questions after they listen to you. I love it. Yeah. Well, every time if I walk into the where I get my hair done and there's other people in there, they always look at me strange. Like I say, it's just kind of funny. So yeah, I had this and I drank it when my throat was a little dry. Yes, he just came home, right? That's just funny, Darcy. That's hilarious. Yeah, people never know what to think of me. They just, yeah, I don't know. It's the spirit in me is strong. So, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of articles again today. I counted, and so I just read the titles so people could go to my live and find them. I didn't do all the timestamps. I just did a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 articles today. And on a holy day, that's pretty good. And the whole thing is everybody's looking at Trump and Iran. Trump is offering to help negotiate in Iran. I bet they don't want him there. I'm just saying, I bet they don't want him there. He said Trump is willing to meet the leader Khamenei as Iran talks advance. They're meeting tomorrow, so I don't know. I think it's funny that he's also doing that tour of the Middle East that the article I went through. I think it's right before the what is it? It's right before the Arab Summit. The Arab Summit's on the 17th of May, and he's traveling in that area. They don't say the exact times, probably because there's so many people that like to see him off planet because of the things he's doing. He's shaking everything up. Yeah. Hey, Big Al, how are you? Wonderful Friday. Yep. So, guys, we just have to keep praying for everybody. And he was interviewed with Time Magazine. And he said, I think we're going to make a deal with Iran following what a U.S. official described as very good progress in recent developments. Because he sent his guys. Trump is the consummate leader. When he tells somebody to do something like Kash Patel and Pam Bondi and all that, he lets them do it, right? You remember that show, You're Fired. Darcy D, you wake people up. I love that you open their minds in a gentle way. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So he reiterated his firm opposition to Iran acquiring nuclear weapons, stating, I will not allow it, right? So everybody's working together, and evidently Russia and China were talking about Iran too in an article today. So the other article I went through was Iraq plans to build the largest solar station, and then a couple articles later, they're doing their own. They're manufacturing their own solar instead of bringing it in, instead of exporting it in, so or importing it, I should say. And then there was a high-level Iraqi delegation arrived in Damascus today to advance cooperation with Syria. So guys, there's so many things going on. If they're already traveling into Syria, it must be safer since the regime change. What else? I'm just trying to give you more of a detailed summary than my summary, because my summary has everybody in it. China voiced support for the International Atomic Energy Agency to play a constructive role in advancing a political and diplomatic resolution. It's all coming to head. Like China and Russia agreed. So, remember, BRICS includes China, Russia, and India, right? So they are coming together to talk with Iran too, but they're having a meeting in Vienna. So it's kind of funny. It's like, you never know what's going on, but China is ready to strengthen communication and cooperation with Russia, Iran, and the IAEA to help inject positive momentum into diplomatic efforts. But they have no mention of Trump in the U.S. meetings with Iran. They don't mention that here, but they're part of the International Atomic Energy Agency. So we're in a very interesting time. And the fact that Apple has just announced that they're sourcing all their iPhones from India as a pivot away from China, that's going to hurt China. The oil ministry, again, you get the global picture here, as well as how Iraq, we're obviously focusing on Iraq, but also in Bruce, Mark Z commented on Bruce's intel, and Bruce was talking about the Vietnam Dong. And then I had another woman comment or email me that she's been in Huntington Bank. They've always said they would deal in the Iraqi dinar, the Dong, because of all those Iraqi citizens that have fled to America and are settled in Michigan. So I have a feeling that's why they still always have it, but it's not at the revised rates. It's at the rates we see if we Google it, right? Because they're not international yet. So then this oil ministry article, Shat al-Basra gas pipeline project is in its final stages. I mean, they're doing really well. It said, what did it say? They've got, it's just so close to being done. I mean, obviously, and then nationally produced solar panels compete. I'm just giving you more of a detailed summary of the articles this morning. Investing in government bonds, a safe alternative to gold. That was a big article that was in there today. Investing in their bonds versus gold. So I just thought that was very interesting. Why would Iraq be issuing sovereign bonds? And then the whole agreement with the Abu Dhabi exchange. So you can't do that without an international currency. So it's just very precarious, right? To have a non-international currency doing all this international business. So the things that make you go, But again, they don't want you to focus on it. They don't want you to even know it's ever going to revalue. I never heard about the Kuwaiti currency, that the potential of it revaluing, just revalued, right? And that happened because Kuwait wasn't as damaged as Iraq was. According to that guy who, remember, stopped by my house, bought a stand-up paddleboard for his son from my husband, and I ended up being here to help him load it. And he's from South Africa, and I asked him about the ZIG currency because the ZIG currency had just come out, and he goes, well, it's not really doing that well as far as adoption. And he had several banks and businesses that works with the central bank. I mean, that was an incredible insight. And then I mentioned the dinar to him. He goes, how did you hear about the Iraqi dinar? He goes, that's something that could revalue right away. Because he goes, people doubt it because it took so long to rebuild Iraq. So that's somebody that's a global perspective that's not here in this sheltered U.S. where all you hear about is the U.S. So I like looking at the bigger picture. So, and then again, another article about Baghdad sending Iraq's delegation to Syria for oil pipeline insecurity. The oil minister participates in the summit in London. And where were the other article when Russia and China was there? That wasn't in London. That was in another place, wasn't it? Anyways, this guy is there today. The Iraqi oil minister is in London for an IEA energy security summit in London. So, and that's the IEA is all, about, Iran not getting nuclear power. So it's just really interesting, guys. They're all in this together, right? They all meet together. They all have the same people they meet with. They've all got leaders, just like, Trump sent his leaders over here to negotiate with Iran. Their third meeting is going to be Saturday. They were supposed to do the technical meeting on Wednesday. They're going to do it all at the same time, which I think is they could be going over the new system. In other words, they could have all these things about them meeting and still be hearing about the new system without telling you, right? I think it is. I think it would be a good time to do it before the big Arab summit, right? And again, the Iraqi Stock Exchange joins the Abu Dhabi Securities Exchange trading platform. That just happened today. So, all of it before the Arab summit in May. And then, of course, they're talking about their farming. You know, there was an article there that I didn't cover today about the UK has more antiquities on loan from Iraq than other places because the whole world is elevating the status of Iraq. Like they've done everything right. Now we just have to wait for them to be revealed. So what does my gut? John Newton, hi, welcome to my live stream. So what does your gut tell you? This weekend or the 30th? Just asking for your opinion. The mods can answer this as well. Guys, since the Holy Spirit told me it is done, I just think it could happen any time given the status of their new systems. According to Jack, which is my unique intel source, this family's unique intel source, which is why you subscribe and tap the bell. He's saying that Iraq has done all it needs to do. They're waiting on other countries' paperwork, if you will. So if Iraq, think about it this way, if Iraq has the state-of-the-art system and nobody else is fully done with the state-of-the-art system, they can't be on the same page. Remember, I told you, if you've been a Miracle Manifestation member for a while, I've been talking about this system for a long time. But Iraq's system is fully integrated, like with the biometric voting. They're going to use biometric voting in November. When they did the census last November, they used cheek swabs. They're doing facial identification. They have the state-of-the-art security on the borders. They have 6 different borders bordering Iraq. So their border security is state-of-the-art. Their ports are state-of-the-art. You hear this in all the different articles, but nobody pulls it together except us here. Because why? Because as an auditor, my favorite job was figuring things out and putting things together. This is just one of my gifts. I'm very analytical. I think about things until I figure them out. And that's the whole reason why the different levels of my membership to join that, because you get my insights that I have no fear of being censored on the Zooms, and there's no ads. So you get me for an hour every week if you're a mastermind group member. But this coming Monday, you just need to be a Miracle Manifestation member to be on this Zoom. The Miracle Manifestation members get 2 Zooms a month. The masterminds get as many as 6 Zooms a month, depending on when the dates fall, right? So that's what we talk about as a bigger picture. And I've been studying this for a long time, right? And God gave me those strategies, and he's going to download the bridge strategy as soon as it's released. Why? Because it depends on how they release it. I can't do the strategy till I know how they released it, where they released it. Is it going to Forex right away, or is it going to a different exchange? You remember there was a time not too long ago, before Trump was in office, before the elections were even done, is that they were looking at a Japan exchange. Then they were looking at an exchange through, where was it through? It was through a different country, right? So we weren't sure how they were going to release it. You know, the Forex is not the only exchange out there that does foreign currency. But now that Trump's in, I mean, there's a delegation from Iraq going to the U.S. today, isn't there? I thought there was yesterday. There was an article about a delegation from Iraq was heading to the U.S. And I just saw a snippet of the helicopter taking Trump to a dinner tonight. So maybe they're meeting with Iraqi people now. Who knows? Guys, they're not going to put it in your face. You have to put it together. You have to read between the lines, and that's something I specialize in. No, John, they are in the hurry. Everybody wants this new system. You need to understand what I've picked up along the way. I was listening to they've been planning this for a long time, this banking system switch over. They've been planning it for a long time. The bankers want the increased liquidity. That's why JP Morgan Chase is all over this. That's why Ripple created the coins that they did, XRP and XLM. It's all about this digital system. But in the public's eyes, they were speaking against crypto. The whole last administration was against Ripple. The SEC case dragged on for years. There were attorneys that have YouTube channels going, this doesn't make any sense, right? But to the majority of the public's eyes, nobody thought crypto was okay. Every narrative you heard was that a Bitcoin was bad. Only bad people use Bitcoin, right? But behind the scenes, I knew people that were working with the wealthy that were creating funds to find the new and greatest cryptos to get the most gains. Then they started approving the ETFs. Then Trump gets back in office and we have a Bitcoin strategic reserve. So who was lying to you? I've been in crypto since probably 5 or 6 years. Because God woke me up one morning and said, blockchain, blockchain, blockchain. And I started studying it. And one of my friends contacted me and put me in a business that required me to get my wallet. So I got in because God put me in there. And then I had a friend give me XRP, even before you could get XRP on the exchanges in the US. So guys, it's really interesting to see how the narratives were changed overnight. Because why? They've always known this system existed. They always knew that this was going to happen. This changeover in the banking system was an inevitability. It's just how they roll it out to the public. They knew the public would want to say, okay, we'll get you into the system by passing on your debt. The US government, all the governments get a pass on their debt too. Have you ever noticed why all countries have an upside down GDP to debt ratio or debt to GDP ratio? China's worse off than America in that regard. Then I heard a guy last night talking about how China, like if you look at their ships, a lot of their ships are standing empty right now. They're not even being used. China can't handle that for very long. They can't handle a trade war with the US. That's why everybody's relenting. Somebody delete him. Thank you. Thank you, wonderful Wyoming. Guys, my brain is too valuable to you. Right? I'm not just a body, I'm a brain, right? And yeah, people just can't see beyond it because you have a low level of thinking. You're not thinking like an intelligent human does. But it takes all kinds, right? And this is a public platform, so I'm just grateful for my mods. Thank you, mods, for making me safe and having my back. Can we play guitar today? No, probably not. I haven't trimmed my nails. Guys, this is relived. Look how long my nails grow. I have to cut them. I don't like cutting my nails, but it's better to cut them than before they break. I have to, and my calluses have gone. I need to play guitar. I might have tried it tonight because I'm rested. I wasn't for a while, guys. The showing this house was the most draining thing I've done in a long time. Thinking about getting into a mortgage at these high interest rates was not making me happy either. Because, you know, I've been wanting to be debt-free since I was 45. I had no idea my husband was just going to say, because we were saving money. We were saving a lot of money. I wasn't buying anything. We were putting all the money in the bank in case we bought this house. Right? And so then all of a sudden we said, well, why don't we just pay off the house? So it all worked out for my good. I wanted to be out of debt. I wanted to owe no, the perfect will of God is to owe no man anything but to love him. It took me forever to achieve that. Well, again, we talked about that this morning, but I will address it here because this is a free question and answer session. That's the reason why I'm live today, so you can ask questions. Here's the deal. The $25,000 notes, the $50,000 notes, all are valid. Unless they have a picture of Saddam Hussein, you should be taking them to the bank when you do your exchange. Or to your redemption center if you want to go that way. There's only two ways to exchange your currency. You go to a redemption center that a guru is sending you to, or you do your own thing. I give you the strategies to do a private exchange. Why? Because you have more control if you do a private exchange. If you go to a cafeteria style plan, you're going to get cafeteria style service, means not private service. They're gonna have a limit to the time you can spend, and they're just gonna get as many people through as possible. And you all know that those include a Nancy David Adam agreement. Fill in the blanks. You've all been warned about those. You can't tell anybody what you did or what your projects were or what rate you got, right? All you're seeing is that that's the only way to get your currency. That's not the only way to redeem your currency. You can go to any bank and redeem your currency. You just need somebody that has experience auditing banks, dating a branch manager to be able to tell you that and be able to figure out what the strategies are. that you need to be able to find the right branch at the right time. Because the right branch has to be one that can verify your currency and your presence, so that they can't say, oh, we lost it, or it got burned up. This is cash, right? Just like you don't want to deposit a bunch of cash in a, I would never deposit a bunch of cash in a drive-through, because my friend Linda, who's my trust and estates attorney friend, she was in a drive-through one time. She had cash. She deposited it. She went out. She looked at her receipt and she goes, they didn't credit me for my $1,000. They credited me for $100. I think they misplaced the zero. She goes inside and they completely lied. They stole $900 from her. She had no way of proving that she gave them $1,000 cash. That's the problem with this cash. It's cash. You see, you're not thinking like that. And everybody goes, do I need to bring my receipts with me? Not unless you go to one of those centers and you got to follow their instructions. They say, bring all your receipts. I wonder why they say that, so you can't prove you ever held it. I'm just saying. When you go to a bank, they're going to verify it for you. You don't need receipts except to prove how long you've held it for tax purposes. If they decide to tax it as a capital gain or loss, which they will, most likely. So you need to plan for that. I'm the only one telling you to plan for that. Everybody goes, oh, it's not going to be taxed because of this miscellaneous law. People love to take little laws and then just look at just them, literally. That's like taking the Bible and not understanding the whole counsel of God. You can be very misled if somebody, just like you can be very misled by just looking at one little law, like foreign currency exchanges are not taxed. That is typical foreign currency exchanges, where most of them are not that different. They're too minuscule, too little, and too old of a technology system to track it. Now, with the new system in place, I think they're going to change the laws. They can tax you with the new AI digital system. They can tax you on a 10-cent difference on every foreign currency transaction. So, does that make sense? Are you learning what I'm saying here? So I teach you my 3 steps to a safe exchange is how you can find a bank in your area that can verify it in your presence. How do you talk to them? What do you say to them? You need them. You need to befriend them. You're not there to, if you try to do it on your own, you're going to screw it up. I guarantee you. Just saying. So whether you have a 25,000, a 50, I don't care what kind of Iraqi dinar currency you have, take it to the bank, have them verify it for you. I would take it all in, even if you think maybe some of it's sketchy. Take it to the bank, have them verify. You keep your receipts at home. That's for tax purposes. That's why I keep all my receipts. When I shop, I keep every single receipt. We have files down there. We keep every single receipt for every single month that we work. And then everything's done through our systems for our taxes. It's all filed electronically. I even download the transactions electronically directly from my bank, right? Guys, you only need receipts for tax purposes. I don't keep receipts for my own whatever. I keep them just for tax purposes. And you only are required to keep 7 years tax files. So, if you understand these basics, it's the same thing with getting out of debt. When you understand how the credit card companies work, they removed MasterCard from being able to work in Iraq, right? That was yesterday's articles. So these credit card companies pretty much have a monopoly on things. I don't know how long that's going to last, but that's why I say get out of debt. If you're in credit card debt, you need my debt cancellation strategies. It'll get you out of debt. I know things that most people don't know. I take the complex, and it's legal, what I'm saying. I take the complex topics and make it simple for you to understand. Right? I don't bore you with a ton of details that are way over your head. I mean, I have degrees for this stuff and I have work experience that's relevant to you. And this is free, right? Except for my strategies are not. $55 to teach you how to get, like, if you have one $25,000 note, if you have one $25,000 note, let's just say, no, let's go to the other one. Let's just say it's 322. I know it's going to be backwards. You can take a screenshot and then if you have one $25,000 note and it just comes out at what it came out at before 322, that's worth $80,500. And you're balking at a $55 charge to get 3 steps to a safe exchange, help you find a bank, and tell you exactly what to say to the banker, pre-RV, post-RV, and exchange day, and get the bridge strategy for free. You're really not thinking of this properly. If you have a $50,000 note, double it. That's $161,000. And not get cheated, exactly. But if you go to a center, some pop-up center that may not even be associated with a bank, you could get everything stolen from you. And you're not thinking about a blind side, are you? But if you're Christian and you listen to the Last Days channel, he prophesied a rug pull. My strategies are how you don't get your rug pulled out from under you. Banks have laws and rules they have to abide by. And as soon as I started saying that, and everybody listens to my intel because I have the breaking intel, they don't give me any credit, they don't invite me on their shows, I don't care. I have no ego in this. I serve God and his kingdom only. But even if you're not in God's kingdom, you can take what you want and spit out the bones. I don't require you to be a Christian to listen to this information. So anyways, the exchange day strategy will come once they release this. Why? Because we're like slaves in Egypt. Who's in Egypt? Everybody that's running everything, all the millionaires, all the politicians that make millions by doing legally insider trading, which we could never do. No, they earn everything off of our taxes, and in some cases they're stealing our taxes. If you look at the USAID stuff that's just been revealed, billions of dollars wasted. Just saying. And some people are nervous because it looks like Elon's going to go back to Tesla. He's not. Whoever's running it, it's already established. It's going to keep running. So you don't have to worry about anything. And you don't have to worry about these systems either. This money should last you the rest of your life if you do it right. If you do it right. If you don't, at least I've warned you. Right? So as I started saying, you want to do a private exchange, you want to make sure you do it with a bank, because if out of these 6,000 to 7,000 centers all over the country, how do you know they're all associated with banks? Some have been told they're associated with military bases. Well, I used to live near a really big military base before it was shut down, and my Bible study friends used to smuggle me into the base for a Bible study, and we were in this big building, and they had no idea what we were doing there. Military rent out buildings that are not used on their bases all the time. It doesn't take anything to rent out a building for an afternoon and call it a center, set up computers, make it look really good. Haven't you ever heard of a long con? Haven't you ever seen anybody that conned somebody, made them look like they got the money and they never got the money? How do you know that's not going to happen to you? If you'd go to some no-name center that's not associated with a bank. Now, when I started pointing that out, they started saying, oh, they're all associated with the bank. Well, how do you know? Do you know banks even rent out conference rooms? You can rent, if it's a big enough banking center, you could rent out a conference room to do a meeting. I've done it with my business. I used to do belly presentations. We would do networking in groups. Sometimes they would be in a conference room in a bank. The bank had no idea what we were doing, but you would think because you walk through the bank stores that it was associated with the bank. I'm just saying, guys, because of my experience, I'm aware of this. Also, 800 numbers. Do you know that in my business, we used to set up 800 numbers all the time to do calls? 800 numbers are free. You can get an 800 number. Anybody can get an 800 number. You have no idea who's answering that phone that you're giving your data to. There's the same reason why if you get an email from somebody you don't know with a video, I never click on videos you all send me. Unless you tell me, and I know you because, I know you. I don't watch those videos. I don't click on any link I don't know. I don't answer the phone if I don't have you in as a contact. I don't know why people try to call me from Telegram and whatever. I never answer your phone. I never answer the phone, and you shouldn't either. There's a big scam going around that I always try to let you know what scams are going around. Like there's a lot of videos that use my image and other people's image saying you have to sign up for a QFS card to be part of the quantum system. That is such a lie from the pit of hell. I have no idea how to tell you that enough. If you ever see my image telling you you have to get a QFS card to go to this website, they are lying. I would never tell you to do that. I'm telling you to go to a certified bank that you can walk into, and there's people there that are staffing it. There's going to come a time after this exchange when we all go digital where there won't be staffed branches. There'll be mostly fancy ATMs run by robots or whatever. They're not going to have humans in there. Case in point, even here in Maine, the staff, some of the branches have closed and some of the staff have left. The staff that were there the longest that I knew, they knew my name, they're all gone. I walk in one day, they got people that's only been there 6 months. I'm like, why is that all of a sudden? They're guys, you can't work with the bank and see the changes and not see the writing on the wall, especially because I was talking to them about the new systems. Because I would watch how long it took for a check to clear. Like it doesn't take as many days as it used to. They can clear things automatically right now for a fee. Banks are earning a lot of money, even though they have a brand new system and they haven't told you about it. It's already there. Morning. How are we studying the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar and use prayer and faith? Oh, thank you. Yes, morning. Hey, DS, how are you? So guys, I just get on these days, which usually my husband's at work. He's not, but I think he's upstairs sleeping because he never calls in sick. In fact, he says he gives back time. He's a fireman. He gives back time every fireman and an EMT. They do both at his department. He gives back time every month. He never takes his sick time, ever. And so for him to come home today, I don't know, I don't know. It's weird. He never comes home sick. But I'm still doing this because I don't want to be near him. He's sick. So does anybody have any questions? I just downloaded a lot of stuff to you. This is what you get in my channel. You get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that comes from above, which is pure, peaceable, gentle, unwavering, willing to yield without hypocrisy. Never lied to anybody. I don't intentionally, I tell you what I'm thinking I'm getting, right? No, credit unions usually cannot do foreign currency exchange. Why? They don't have the operations for it. They're not set up to do it. They're not international at all. Credit unions. They're just local. It's your local credit union associated with a credit union. You need the bigger banks. The bigger banks are the beast system. You need to deal with the beast. It's like you're David, they're Goliath. You need to run quickly towards a battlefield. Anytime God tells me to do something, I tend to do it very fast, especially if it's something scary, like brushing out my hair in the shower. I did it right away. He told me to self-tan yesterday, so I self-tanned. I just don't hesitate anymore. He told me to go on YouTube now. I immediately went on YouTube. I stopped everything because I've learned to hear his voice, and I know there's a sense of urgency. It took me 3 years and 8 months to get monetized on YouTube. It did not happen quickly because I don't have a network. I gave up my network that I had because God told me to sever from my business partner, and then I joined another business a few years later, like 6 years later. I started another business because I needed something to do after I did all my gardening. God, I needed to build a business. I don't like gardening. I said that this morning. I don't like to cook and I don't like gardening. I like to make, if my husband wants me to cook or clean the house, I could rather hire a maid or order out like we did yesterday because he's been making the meals and I've been busy doing this. Right. So thankfully, I've got a really good husband and he loves helping me in any way he can. If it weren't for him, I could never do this. It's because of my husband I can do this. He even got us a brand new internet service that's cheaper. And then he went and installed yesterday a brand new Nest system, which is different. It's not Nest. It covers, so I get better coverage. I even get coverage out in the, when it's finished, I'll get coverage out in the backyard. He's not going to do it until some of our work's done around here. Because we have an electrician coming, we have new glass put in, a couple new really old windows put in, like that one's getting replaced. That one up there, it's a unique window. It's getting replaced so we can open it. We're replacing the windows in the barn so they're going to be Lexan, they're not going to be windows. Dawn, I thought you was, I'm not going to say anything against those. I watched a channel say that they got some content removed because they used a word that was highly, it almost sounded like it was, profane. Sound like it was profanity. It was extreme profanity and it had nothing to do with saying a bad word. It was about, You don't want to offend communities on YouTube, put it that way. Um, while you're listening to me, Paulette, hi, how are you? Well, I'm glad you got some from Right Side. So he still is in business. Guys, he's dealing with the death of his mother. And coming from somebody who I lost both my parents. I was in a daze. I was in shock. I was in denial. I was still having dreams that she was still alive. I mean, it was a crap show. I sleptwalked. I was literally sleepwalking through those days. So I feel for him. My prayers go, you should be praying for him, Kevin, right side page. I mean, seriously, I really feel bad for him. I feel bad for my husband too. He went through it and he's now he's being separated from his dad because of his crazy family dynamics associated with things that have happened to all of us. I know I'm not alone. You guys have admitted that you've had similar things happen with your family. This is a nationwide thing. It's happened to most of us here in the United States. It's also happened probably in other countries because we all experienced what we experienced, right? That was a test of obedience. And it was very successful. 70% of the global population obeyed. That's why you can't resist. Do we need to show you again? You can't resist. This global banking system, you might as well just say, that's why God is bringing the wealth transfer. If it weren't for this new system in Iraq, you would not know the extent that this system was done. And being associated with me, the former auditor in me couldn't help it. I started noticing the difference when I deposit your checks. Mogul deposit. So, Danielle Barnett, how are you? Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Robert, yes, sir. Amen. 35 years old. My friend started from scratch with a lot of variety, but yes, indeed, relax. I am and will stay. This is truly a blessing. Melanie is the best teacher. Yeah, I love to teach people about the financial systems, guys. You cannot fight them. You cannot fight them. Ask the military guys. Jack's not on because it's like 9 o'clock there. He was drinking Maker's Mark because, guys, they're just, could you imagine? I can't imagine living there in this environment and being on guard all the time for all the people they've eliminated, right? They're warriors and they give us intel, and I'm so immensely grateful every day that they give us intel, and we pray for them. I pray for them to fight the good fight and have legions of angels protecting them. Oh, you didn't know? Yeah. He lost his mom not too long ago. Right. And so, he's probably just getting through. He's getting through doing what he needs to do to stay. I mean, that's what I did. I did just enough to keep my job. And his job is to service you with the currency. So I'm praying for him because I don't expect him to be on. I don't expect him to mod because, I know what it's like to lose a parent and in a shock. And my husband did the same thing. It's been 2 years now. And, yes, I'm doing good, Melanie. Praise God, sister. Not only the dinar and the dong, I wonder about the Iranian rial. I'm sure that won't. Guys, they're all going to revalue. It's just, this is what I've always prayed. God told me the Iraqi dinar was done. He didn't tell me the Vietnam dong was done. But it stands to reason that when the systems are in place for the dinar to revalue, which all they need to make sure is the correspondent banks that are dealing with Iraq right now are done. The paperwork's in, right? And the contracts, the people they have contracts with, they want to make sure those contracts are executed properly. They have to be on the same system in order to be on the system, right? So the bigger countries are, the bigger company contracts are. You need to understand this new system that's AI. It's not just a banking system. It's an AI system. Shop talk. Yeah, but I'm thinking any day now. Because, when you're a member, they said you could say rumor has it. If you're a member of my channel, you know what he said. And that was, what date was that, y'all? We meet every Monday at 11 for our Zooms. Those are for members of my channel. The one coming up this Monday is available to both Miracle Manifestation members and Mastermind members. Yeah, I think it's going to be before. Because why? Because of this whole Arab Summit thing. The article yesterday, here, let me read you the article yesterday. And when you piece the timings together, they're not going to say it. You got to understand, there's a big reason not to say it or give you any inkling of when it's going to happen. You just have to put things together. But the guys in Iraq have, if you're in the Iraqi stock exchange, like the guys in Iraq are, remember the DOD prevented anybody that's working in country to invest in the currency. You can't do it. Why did they do that? Well, think about it. It's almost like you're an insider, right? It's the same thing if you're part of a company that does an IPO, because I did those. They all have to be audited. That's what's going on. The government of Iraq is audited. The Oliver and Wyman is auditing the Central Bank of Iraq. And any country, any company that wants to be a part of this system has to be audited by K2 Integrity, or they'll be shut out of the system. Every aspect of this system has been audited. And the companies, the countries, the government, and the central bank all audited. Correspondent banks had to be audited. Right? So with all that being done, you know this is done. It's been enough time now. Right? So, and then they met in Dubai. They met in Dubai. The U.S. Treasury, the Federal Reserve, the government of Iraq, and the central bank staff, they all met in Dubai with the auditors. All three of the auditors met in Dubai, neutral territory, with them. What do you think they were talking about? Anytime you have an annual you have a meeting with the auditors, they're getting their final sign-offs on the system. That means it can happen anytime. That's my opinion based on my vast work experience. And for companies that are doing an IPO, which Ripple, I couldn't even believe Ripple wasn't public. I don't look at every company. I don't have time. I'm too busy doing this. But I thought Ripple was already public. It's not. It's private, which means you can't look at its books. That's annoying. I don't like private companies. You can't look at their books. I like companies that are audited. Their books are public. So are their salaries of their employees. Right? I like to know how much people are making. You know, there's a lot of untoward things that have happened because they were privately held companies, NGOs, things like that you've heard about lately. Non-governmental, what is it? What are NGOs? Not whatever. That's how they launder all their money. Oh, Tony Rodriguez, thank you. Tony Rodriguez, hi all. I had to share my dream last night of my dad, who has passed away 15 years ago, told me, you will be getting it soon. He pointed to a pile of cash. Woohoo. Guys, I've heard so many prophetic words about you're going to be wealthy, you're moving. I'm seeing keys. But, you know, I'm thinking now that we weren't just thinking about what house we could buy based on where my husband works. When the RV happens, you know, maybe we'll buy a house with a dock and everything we want here with east and west sunrise, sunset. I wasn't sure about that house in terms of if I could get the sunrise and the sunset, because I get both types of sun in the summer. It's very important. I also wasn't sure about the cross breezes. I need a house with a cross breeze. I need to feel like I'm living indoor, outdoor. Like when I sit in this office, you would not believe the breezes that come through this window. Because we're right on a river, there's always a breeze. When it's warm, you want the breeze. When it's cold, the breeze makes me cold, right? I'm very particular, can you tell? I love summer here. Summer is here is beautiful. It gets cool at night, hot in the day, right? Fire pit season's coming up. I'm so excited, right? My patio won't be in until next November, though. They haven't even given us an estimate of the patio. We're getting the patio redone. We're moving it back so we don't see the neighbor at all. It was before we had a jerky neighbor, right? So we're doing everything to, you know, we couldn't move away from the neighbor, so we're going to move back so he can't see us. And we can have a better view of the river anyway. I know. I'm excited to start house hunting. Yes. So I don't think we're gonna house. I don't know if my husband is house hunting or not, but I'm sure there's going to be one in a tropical environment. I just don't know where, and I don't think I want to say where because of this. Right? I'm learning from my mistakes when I started this channel. Next time, you won't have any idea. Just saying. And remember that jerk off channel found the new house and exactly where it was. So now when I buy another house, nobody will know because we'll buy it cash. And it won't be some, so, but guys, I'm always going to have trolls. Always. They're never going to go away. So I'm going to have to be extra safe after this. But right now, I just trust on my angels to protect me because they do. And my dogs, right? I know. See, I've had so many, it's crazy. It's just nuts. It's absolutely nuts what I've been through to do this. It's absolutely crazy and nuts. It's all of it. And it's exhausting. But it makes me pray more. It makes me fast. I'm fasted right now. I had this water because I was about choking when I was in the summary. I've never done that during a summary. It's hilarious. I've never choked during a summary. I've never cried during the beginning yesterday. All these things are new. My husband never comes home sick. He's always giving back time. He's got so much sick time, he doesn't know what to do with it. And he's never sick because we're on relive, right? So him coming home, he goes, this is just weird. That's what he said. He goes, I feel weird. He goes, and I can't run the rescue all night if I'm not 100%. So, it's just funny. Will I be live tonight? I don't know. I'm going to ask him. I might. I would still like to go live. If he's sick, I don't want to hang out with him. It's not like I want to cuddle with the sick husband. Yes, I have, guys, I wouldn't have found all you. It's worth it because I found y'all. You found me. I found you. We're all happy, aren't we? I'm happy. We're happy, blessed, and free. We're healthy, wealthy. We are divine. Everything comes to us at the perfect time. I would still like to have a cocktail with you tonight and talk about manifestation after I get my hair done, but it depends on my husband. Don't be breathing in the fog. I know, guys, there's so much crazy stuff in the air, but I don't get as much here. I'm very coastal here. I'm on the coast of Maine, so there's a lot of breezes. I love that. Not only did they look for my house, that crazy channel put it online and also said how much my husband was making per year. Showed his income from it was, and I reported it and they made him take it down. But it was out there, right? Yes, they are. I had a guy contact the farm where my horses are. That's why I can't say where they are anymore. Saying what a scammer I was. And that they shouldn't let me have my horses there. I mean, people are sick. They're flipping sick. And then to have your own family turn on you too, and then believe those channels that are sickos, right? So it's just, that's the world we live in, right? We're in the world, but not of the world. I'm not of that world, but, and again, I just pray, I fast, I pray a lot. I'm still fasted. I took this has 10 calories. It doesn't break your fast. Just like my coffee with my cinnamon, my whatever hasn't broken my fast. I'm praying for my husband. I'm praying for you guys. You guys, when you subscribe and tap here, you will be prayed for. God told me I'm under an open heaven. I've given up everything, my reputation, family, friends, everything to do this. I mean, I thought I gave up a lot to just follow Jesus. I mean, it keeps the price, but what's the price of peace? Right? I don't regret any of the costs in the material world that it's cost me to follow Jesus and to be able to bring you the good news of the wealth transfer and the strategies to be free with it. Even though the systems are very onerous and inescapable, you'll still have freedom. I know it sounds crazy, but that's why my members understand. I know he has to answer for that one. Everybody will. God sees that justice is done. Guys, sometimes it takes a while for God's justice to reveal itself. I don't care as long as I don't go looking for it. God says, don't rejoice when you see your when you see your enemies. Don't rejoice, so I don't look for it. I never look for them to, I'm careful to follow the whole counsel, which is don't rejoice when when God sees that justice. My screensaver on my phone is God sees that justice is done. It's on my vision board. My vision board is dedicated to Christ. Christ is in the center of my vision board. I never forget that he's the reason. In Christ, I can do all these things. It's not in my own ego. I don't have any ego left. I've been crushed by the loving God. I'm his, right? I'm a chosen one. I think he chose me from before my birth. I mean, he put the dream in my heart to be a jockey of racehorses. And then he had me call my first intel source Sandman 1 and 2. And then he gave me the dream of the dapple gray horse, which was way before I started YouTube. I couldn't even afford horses at that point, but I had a dream that this gray horse was coming to me. And then the horse in the Kentucky Derby is Sandman, and he's a dapple gray. And I'm like, oh, now I understand. Because people are like, well, your horses are bay. What about your dapple gray? I said, I don't know. Sandman. The name of the horse is Sandman. God, guys, you either look at it. It was Albert Einstein that said you could either look at it as if nothing's a miracle or that everything's a miracle. Everything is a miracle. My husband coming home today, taking a nap upstairs, so I could still do this live at 2. He still make a way for me to do a margaritas and manifestations tonight. I'm thinking I might pull out the fire pit and do it on the porch with the fire pit. I haven't done a fire pit yet. I remember I had that mini fire pit, the solo stove that I didn't even want to buy. My husband's been talking about pulling up that for Cynthia for years, and now I'm finally in agreement with it. It's so funny because a lot of the things my husband sees way ahead of me, I, don't see. It was my husband that found those horses for me. All I did say was, I don't want another kayak. He goes, what do you want? I said, I want a horse. 4 words I said. By the afternoon, we went to look and we found our horses. That same afternoon, when God moves, he moves quickly. I think this Iraqi dinar can happen anytime. And I've got a state-of-the-art security system here. Everywhere. Cameras on every corner. So whatever you do, you won't get away with it. And if you get inside, I'm a really good. I practice targets. I'm really good. And I have a laser pointer and a light. Laser pointer. You won't see it. But I won't hesitate. In Maine, the law is all I have to do is tell you to run. Give you a chance to run away. And if you don't run away, you'll die. Just saying. Yes, Isia, your husband says the faith test can be the most challenging. Oh, I've been challenged in so many ways. I can't even, I probably will write books. God said that to me in the bathroom this morning. I will write books because of that new minister. I love Dr. Kim. Is it Dr. Kim? Real Talk Kim? It's Kim, right? I love her style. I love that she's not traditional. I love everything about her, honestly. God brought her to me as somebody to listen to because the one minister that's less like me never drank. He's like my husband. My husband's never drank. He doesn't drink coffee. He doesn't drink alcohol. It's never touched his lips, really. He's just not into it, right? He saved a near perfect human for me. My husband's got the humility that I could never had. I'm humble before God. But it's not natural. It had to be beat into me by the Holy Spirit through circumstances. Yes, there's so many idiots, Robert. Thank you. Will Jamaica currency rate go up? I have no idea. I haven't even looked at the Jamaica currency, but I do have. So look, I think the Iraqi dinar is going to go first and we're going to get a lot of money for it. Guys, the prime minister was on TV within the last 2 weeks talking about the Kuwaiti dinar. Why would he be doing that? because it's going to be similar or more, because they have to be within what, 5 cents a piece of the Kuwaiti dinar. The Kuwaiti dinar is, one Kuwaiti dinar equals $3.30, 3 times the rate of the US dollar, right? So what do you think Iraqi will? It'll be at least, it'll be a little bit more higher than that. I think it'll be a little higher than that. Why? Because they've done the work. They have the new systems. They're the first to have the new system. They're the pinnacle of the crown of the Middle East of this system. They're the poster child for this new banking system. They get a reward for that, a better value. Will Vietnam Dong get it? No. Possibly by the time the others revalue, we might be all on a level playing field. Because when this new system comes in, we're all going to be trading. It'll be different. That's what Trump is here for. May look funny happening, rolling out, but you can see, can't you see clearly now how these people keep digging their own graves? I'm not going to say anything, but people are digging their own graves. Well, I'm not invested in the Jamaican currency. I'm not one to talk about it. I don't know anything about it. I have silver, Rita. I have a very diversified portfolio. As a Miracle Manifestation member, you know that. Oh, you're not a member. You're not a member. That's okay. Yes, we have some silver. I bought it at $28 an ounce. If it goes up to $3.50, I'll be happy. But it's not the majority of what's in my. I mean, I've got a good bit of silver, but that's not all I have. I'm not one of these people that all I do is precious metals. I believe in cryptos because the new system is digitally based. God woke me up one morning and said, blockchain, blockchain, blockchain. I listened. I had people teach me about it, and I invested, and my wallet is still doing good. Right? And I know about cold wallets and hard wallets or what is it? Soft and hard wallets, cold storage. Yeah, so you got to be diversified. Ecclesiastes will tell you that. Sow your seed as many as 7, no, maybe 8 times, because we don't know what evil's going to come upon. KG, thank you. I appreciate you too. I thank you for watching. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. I've been on an hour. I think I've been on an hour. Yep, 62 minutes. Keep your notifications on. Make sure you're subscribed and tap the bell in case I go live after my hair appointment. But I don't know. It depends on my husband, right? So I may not go live tonight at 6 or 6:30 or whatever time. That would be the range. But if I do, you'll be notified. I'll just go live. Well, you might not be notified. You just have to look for me. I would say look for me around 6:15, 6:30. Again, my husband wasn't supposed to be at home at all, so I might not be able to. But if I can, and if Jack sends me anything, he said he'd let me know if they said anything in the mosque today. They didn't find out when I was live this morning, so he hasn't gotten on. So I'm assuming nothing happened. Let me double check. Let me check my intel sources before I leave you. I haven't gotten anything new from my secret intel sources. And now let me look and see if there's any updates on the other site that I summarized already, because I want to keep you up to date, guys. I love doing the summaries. I love checking on this. I will check on this before I go live again, see where we're at. Let's see. Nope, nothing new except for Pimpy, and we know, somebody knows Pimpy, right? Nothing is going to happen to the Iraqi banknote until the central bank digital currency is being launched. That's just common sense. Well, I think, he comes from a totally different place than I do. It's like apples and oranges. He's kind of right. But if you're paying attention to what I'm saying, everybody's going to trade in their currency for digital dollars. It's all going to be digital in the bank, like it is here already. It's all digital. If you take cash into your bank, you're going to get it traded for digital US dollars. In Iraq, they can already trade it into digital dinar. The system's already there. See, that's the thing nobody sees. The system is already done. Iraq is done. They have digital dinars. They have this new quantum AI system. That's what other people are not really making the connection, but they don't have my mind. They don't have my experience. This is where my experience trumps everybody else, in my opinion. It's not ego, it's just my experience. Who else worked for Price Waterhouse and implemented systems and audited companies before they went public, and also helped integrate new systems, right? The other person that was there was Fun Lu, who is now all of a sudden of the opinion, which could be misinformation, disinformation, which we knew there'd be a lot of it to mask the timing. All of a sudden, here, I'll pull it up and read it to you. That's what took me a minute to respond. Those were the only two new ones, Pimpy and Fun Lu. So Fun Lu says, they've been very negative the last, saying Iraq doesn't need to do this because they're doing all this business without doing it. They're not noticing that it's agreements and memorandums of understanding, not contracts. There's a big difference there. Again, you'd have to have a business law. I mean, guys, you have to study business law to become a CPA and to work for Price Waterhouse. You have to know contract law, right? So a lot of people don't have that understanding, haven't executed those contracts. Why do you think I was offered the CFO job? Chief Financial Officer, we have to know contracts. Anyways, but you also hire attorneys, CEOs and CFOs. They hire their weaknesses. I'm not saying I'm all that, but when it comes to this, I kind of am. So subscribe and tap the bell or not. It's up to you. It's free information, 8,500 videos. I'm the hardest working YouTuber too. I have the work ethic that backs me up. Fun Lu says, Iraq is not frozen or at a standstill. Quite the contrary. Business in Iraq is booming. Here are 17 projects announced this week. They are equivalent numbers each week. I'll go through it because some of this I probably already reported on. Iraq discusses buying Korean defense helicopters. Prime Minister launches Suk al-Suqayya infrastructure project. Al-Balal Group signs investment licenses for 525 MW solar projects. UK consultancy wins pension contracts in Iraq. Iraq develops remote air pollution monitoring system. Wood selected by Total Energies to advance Ratawi field redevelopment. Chinese built $374 million Iraqi medical city breaks ground. Begins work on 921 MW Nazara power plant. We've discussed all this in my details. Central Bank of Iraq launches first virtual bank project in Iraq to produce solar panels. I discussed that this morning, that the central bank was funding it. Amman Airport signs partnership with Karbala International Airport investor. First batch of aluminum castings followed Iraqi plant upgrade. First sulfur shipment from Hawaii field. AAA Holding completes acquisition of phosphate fertilizer project. Chinese firm signs MOUs for Iraqi petrochemical projects. China Group wins lubricants deal for Kurdistan region. Rixus Hotels discusses development in Iraq. Does Iraq sound or look like they are at a standstill or frozen to you? So this person's position is it's never going to revalue because they're doing business now with a program rate. That's their position. What do you think? Because the fact that they just made a deal with the Abu Dhabi Securities Exchange begs to differ that, right? She's talking about these MOUs and contracts as if, but you can't be international. You can't do international business with the program rate. You can, but only for so long. And why would Iraq be being held out? Why would they be the first choice for a system if they were going to stay at a program rate? I posit to you that the deal that Sudani made to get their currency revalued to a respectable rate again was we will have that system. And it's what's driving everything. So when you see, that's why I'm here, to bring sense out of chaos, because they're going to have a lot of different misinformation around, and you decide what you believe, right? You come here, you get truth, facts. optimism, and hopefully clarity that helps guide you properly. No. So anyways, I'm going to head out. I'm going to play like a baby and head out. I'm going to play like a tree and leave. I'm going to play like a banana and split. And I will see you either tonight for a cocktail because my husband went to bed early or whatever, or I won't. But if he goes to bed early, I can go live whenever. So I don't know when I'm going to go live, but I do know I'm getting my hair done today. And I'm going to be freezing after that because why? It's going to be wet. It's going to be a nice color. My roots are going to be gone, but I'm going to be wet head and I'm going to be freezing. I always freeze after my hair, even in the summer, I freeze after my hair appointment. So pray for me. I'm tired of being cold. I need some sunshine. I need some warm air. I need to not be freezing anymore, but God knows the timing. He knows I've done my time here, right? God moved me from Boca Raton, Florida to this Maine because he wanted to crush me like a grape because I've done my time. So I don't think this is my promised land. It seems like it, but it's not. Very blue state here. This state is going more the way of California. So if I have an opportunity after the RV to get out of here, I might just choose to get out of here because that's not good for anybody, right? The taxes are onerous. They just passed a bunch of new taxes and nobody sees it. I see it, but I don't report on it because it's sad and I don't want to focus on things that are sad. You get what you focus on, right? Guys, I love you. Mods, you rock. Thank you. Same in New Jersey. You feel the same. I know, Dawn, you freeze too. You're like me. You even have a Native American last name, don't you? Seems like it. U.S. is in Iraq for 322 reasons. I know. Guys, and there's a big meeting tomorrow. So, you know, they did the same thing here, but nobody, just, and you know, the politicians that are more like, you know, we think, are always on the thing saying, we don't have any agency here. They just shut us out. They censor us if we say anything against their agenda. They shut. It's just this. It's just stalling. It's just everywhere you go. You're seeing the same thing, and you're seeing that everywhere. Danielle, Melanie, God moved me to a hot place. I run hot. Truly, he moved me from Pismo Beach, California to Arizona, LOL. So you're the different. You struggle with the heat. I struggle with the cold. I know. That's what he does. He makes you uncomfortable, right? He put me in an industry I never wanted to be in. I mean, trust me, throughout the years, people wanted me to be in sales. Like, I always said no. Like, even my headhunter wanted me to be a headhunter for him. He goes, oh my God, you do so great. Because they recognize it. But I never want to do sales. I never respected sales. And then God puts me in direct sales, which is even lower. That's like even lower. Like professional sales is different than direct sales. And I remember thinking this job is beneath me. For years, I thought that was beneath me. I'm like, seriously, somebody caught me on video teaching Ephesians chapter 6. And I was saying, God put me in a job that is beneath me. And that's when my ego still existed. It doesn't exist anymore. I'm like, whatever you want, I'll do whatever. God is funny like that. He teaches me I have no control. When I find, you know, I have a lot of friends that are, law of attraction is real. It's in God's kingdom too. It's just called law. It's not called law of attraction. It's called reaping and sowing. Because if you seek him first and all these things shall be added unto you. That's God's kingdom. God's kingdom is better than law of attraction. Law of attraction has a dark side, which means what? If you're in control of everything good that comes to you, then you're also in control of everything bad that comes to you. So you created the whole global disaster. Y'all, it's all your fault. So it has a condemnation dark side. Same thing with self-improvement. I used to be in the self-improvement movement, right? That has a dark side too. Because if you set all these goals for yourself and then all of a sudden you don't meet them, then you're hard on yourself. You turn on yourself and you don't even realize you're doing it. And you start beating yourself up if you don't hit your goals or you don't hit your numbers or whatever. I was in that insanity. That's why I don't work out that much. Although he did lead me to put this on today. I'm like, am I going to start exercising again? I've really enjoyed the freedom of not exercising, but I won't be able to fast and pray as much as I do if I start exercising, because then I have to eat. It's weird because if I don't eat enough and I'm working out, I gain fat. I'm fasting, I don't eat a lot, but I lose fat because there's no stress. It's like cortisol. You know, when you put too much, some of you are working out too hard and you're stressing out your body and you're gaining fat and you don't understand it and you think it's your age and you think it's all that. No, it's probably because you're just working out too hard. Trust me, I was on that roller coaster of insanity. If I didn't hit my numbers, I was always like, I was never happy with myself when I was on that. I'm speaking to somebody. I'm free. When I say I'm free, I'm really free. I am so free. It's ridiculous. I love it. I mean, it took me till 50. It took me till 50 whenever 4 years ago happened. 5 years ago happened now. That's when it started. God said, stop it. I not only did I have to stop my Fitness Pal and tracking everything I ate, my macros, which could drive anybody insane, right? He told me to stop looking at the budget. I used to budget everything. I was Virgo. I was maniacal about money. Now I'm like, no, I seek God, you know, like the siding. We weren't sure if we wanted to do that right away. And I woke God up and God says, look, you didn't go into a mortgage. You made a good deal. Get the siding done. You know you want it done. So I came downstairs. I said, okay, honey, we need to get this going. And then he showed up today to drop off the stuff. That was a sign. God is good. Guys, God is good. If everybody would just submit to him. Lord Jesus, forgive them of their sins, lift the veil from their eyes, do the righteous work in their hearts so they know being in your kingdom is such a relief. It's like an oasis in the crap show of the world. I don't have to be in the world unless I go there to try to figure out what's going on. Doesn't cinnamon or turmeric help circulate? Yes, they probably both do. It's also in my products. The Gluc Effect has cinnamon in it. And it has probably turmeric. I know the Arts Effect has turmeric in it. My products are unique, right? Here, I'll put my link to my products because, you know, it's my business and I love it. And it's the reason why I don't have IBS, constipation, acid reflux. I didn't have to have a knee replacement or a digestive surgery. So that is the link to my products. So if you need to know how I look this way, I'm 59. I've never had any work done. Never had anything work done. And I feel pretty happy and I've never had anything insane. I don't even have facials, right? Vault Tech Prepper. Yours look good and poof fill. Yes. Sabrina, thank you so much for your help. Guys, please pray for my husband that he feels better. But if he doesn't, I will be live tonight. Now I'm going to have to eat dinner tonight. So I have to figure out something, right? I love you guys. Have a great day. And hopefully I'm still praying that I can go live tonight and have a margarita with you. But either way, I had 3 hours with you last night. You can watch last night's. If I don't go live tonight, watch last night's. But I was hoping Jack would get on, but they're probably sleeping. Guys, because right now it's 10:21 p.m. And there must not have been anything out of the mosque today. Because I said, if there's anything to report, get on it too. And he didn't get on. So thank you guys. I love and respect you all. Yum, all good stuff. I love it. Check it out. Yes, it's really good. It tastes good too. I'm about to make a big shake. Yes, thank you. I think he's taking a nap, so I'm not going to disturb him. So do you have any last minute questions? Enjoy your hair appointment. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm a little nervous about it because I'm going to freeze. I know I'm going to freeze. It's crazy. It's like, I hate being cold. You just have to be me to understand. I just hate being cold. God knows it. I mean, you know, he's convicted me. Stop complaining. I complain about it all the time. So that's something I'm still working on. So guys, I think this thing can happen anytime. My gut my gut has to be what the Lord told me, which is it's done. So I act as if it is done. I don't worry about money anymore. I act as if it's done. A manifestation principle is you act as if, law of assumption, you act as if it's already done. And with Trump dealing with Iran and going to the Middle East right before the Arab summit's being held there, I mean, these are all good signs. It could happen anytime, right? And the Iran talks are tomorrow. Trump's offered to go there. But evidently there was elements from Iraq that went to the US. That was yesterday, wasn't it? Wasn't that yesterday? Guys, see, I get lost sometimes. It's like there's so much going on. There's never been this much going on. There was more going on in the last couple months than we've seen in years. Can you say amen? Right? Yes. Is Jack on? I don't think Jack's on, right, Sabrina? He never got on. What I'm doing is posting the shorts. A lot of people just watch the shorts. But my live streams are always available. You guys can look the details because my short was very distracted today. I almost choked, but it was, my husband had just gotten home and I'm like, I said I would do the shorts before I go at 2. So, if you haven't watched this short, I will put the short at the end of this. Yeah, Jack never got on. Okay, good. That means Moss didn't say anything today, which is fine because my husband's not under the weather. So thank God it's the Sabbath tonight. Amen. But I still want to go live. And I might be live in the morning for coffee. I just don't know what time. It won't be 9 o'clock because if it's the Sabbath, I might stay up late. This is the only night I get to stay up late because I know I don't have to wake up at a certain time. I'm going to take that part of the Sabbath. When I do coffee, though, I will go live. Sabbath is God's calendar. Friday night to Saturday, you take a break. You try not to work. So I'm getting all this stuff done before I rest. Right? So that's, And I was glad that my summary had Vietnam Dong in it today. Right? So guys, we just have to keep the faith that this is done. Right? No drinking or debauchery. Exactly. Guys, I love you all. I'll see you later. Hopefully, I'll see you later. And again, pray for my husband. God bless everybody. I'll see you later or in the morning at some point. All right. I just don't know when because sometimes I stay up late on Friday nights and just, I don't know. I'm kind of doing research on the cryptos. I'm beginning to research, I don't know. I'm just following the leadership of the Holy Spirit every time I do anything. So guys, I love you all. Peace. We'll see you later. Bye.